interested in building yourselves one of these really small and handy noise generators at home? To get started, grab yourselves these 4 components. Start with the 4 DC motors. What you're going to want to do is cut off the ends of each of the motors. We're going to place them in parallel. Connect all 4 negative rails together and all 4 positive rails together. All 4 DC motors should be in parallel. Go ahead and strip yourself a small piece off of all 8 wires. Connect all 4 red wires and connect all 4 blue wires. Go ahead and solder your 2 ends together. Great. Let's start prepping our power supply. Cut off the end so we can expose the wires inside. Death by guillotine. Expose the wire inside using some strippers. This kind. That should be plenty. It should look like this. Now let's go ahead and strip some off each of the wires in here. Go ahead and solder both ends. Perfect. Back to the 4 motors. Wrap them in some duct tape. Like that should be good. Solder all 4 corners of whatever boost converter you decide to use. Wow. Glue it together. It should look something like this. Just a little bit of solder on there is okay. Go ahead and solder the positive of your power supply into V-in on your boost converter or buck-down converter. And remember, 5 volts is going to be going to 3.2 volts for our DC motors. Good, now take the black wire and connect it to the power switch. Grab yourself a very normal and average size piece of wire that goes from your power switch to V-in minus of your boost converter or buck-down converter. Damn. That's a huge piece of wire. Bam. Bam. Great, it should be ready to plug in so we can start testing the output voltage. Make sure your device is switched off before you plug it in. Grab yourself a voltmeter. If you don't have one, you're gonna risk burning your motors. Okay, plug it in. Turn it on. And voila, it powers on. Ensure that you're getting the right input voltage. It should be around 5 volts. Now this part can get a little tricky if it's your first time. What we're doing is we're configuring the boost converter to give us the appropriate voltage meant for our DC motors. Right now you can see we're sitting at 5.43 volts, which is too much. So we're going to step this down from 5 volts to 3.2. To do that, you spin these 3 thingies. Good luck. So go ahead and wire up your buck converter or buck down converter to your voltmeter, and you're going to want to configure your output voltage to be the appropriate voltage for your DC motors, whatever they may be. This is scalable. To lower the voltage on your buck converter, what you're going to want to do is turn this third potentiometer counterclockwise to lower it and clockwise to raise it. So once you have the correct output voltage, great. Now is the last step. You're ready to start wiring up your DC motors to the buck converter. Go ahead and wire up the 4 DC motors that you have in parallel into the negative rail on the buck converter that you're using. Go ahead and repeat for the positive rail, but make sure the device is off before you connect everything. And that's it. There you go. You're basically ready. If everything's all set and done correctly, as soon as you power it on, there you go. So obviously it's really quiet right now, and it's a noise machine. How is this going to make a lot of noise? Well, that depends on the type of surface that you put it on. So right now it's on this plastic mat, which, I mean, it's not really loud. But if we go ahead and we place it onto something like the desk, it gets a lot louder. And so if we hold it in place, it makes this really irritating pitch. That's perfect for annoying those people that you just want to annoy. So now that everything's all wired up, just go ahead and grab some electrical tape, make the wires look nicer, and you're good to go. Go annoy some people. Babies! Babies!